The White House confirming that for now, President Trump will not declassify the Carter Page FISA documents, despite increasing calls from Republicans.
So where do we go from here? Tom Fitton is the president of Judicial Watch, the watchdog group that sued for the release of these documents. And he joins us now. So much of this is classified, Tom, and critics will say the president won't declassify the rest because there's nothing to gain. What do you say?
Oh, I think we should understand the reason we have access to this information that came out that detailed the abuse of the FISA process to target the Trump team is because the president earlier this year made a decision to declassify materials already in the so-called Nunes memo, where he talked about the use of the Clinton DNC dossier, the use of articles placed by the Clinton DNC dossier team at Fusion GPS to bolster the warrant and other things like that. And when he declassified that, that allowed the FOIA process to work that resulted in this release today. So what he should do is take another look at what other materials in these warrant applications, which according to those who have read them completely over in the Intelligence Committee, Bob Goodlatte, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, also show that there was no good reason to have a FISA warrant. And he should take a look at that, declassify it, and let the FOIA process work from there so he can exercise his prerogatives as president and let the FOIA process work and get some accountability and disclosures to the American people.
Well, as you know, the House Intel had asked President Trump to declassify the documents, saying, quote, "We respectfully request that you declassify and release publicly and in unredacted form pages 10 to 12 and 17 to 34, along with all associated footnotes of the third renewal of the FISA application on Mr. Page." Tom, what do you think it's going to take to make that happen?
He's going to have to intervene. I mean, Rod Rosenstein signed that renewal, so he's being asked to release information that may reflect poorly on him. And I don't think he can be, he'd have to take himself out of the decision-making as to whether that material is released. The president should step in like he did last time that resulted in the release of this partial disclosure. And there's more information to be gotten. You know, we plan to file a motion today with the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court to get access to any hearing transcripts of any hearings that took place about the Carter Page warrant applications. That we asked the Justice Department for any transcripts. They said they don't have them. So we're going to ask the court to see if they have them. We need transparency. This abuse during the presidential campaign of the Justice Department and the FBI's awesome powers to spy on someone in secret needs to be exposed fully so we get some accountability and we have a way of making sure it doesn't happen again.
Well, Tom, Republicans say that it's all about this dossier, that this was used almost exclusively to get this warrant. The Democrats are saying it's just part of it. Who's right here? Can you determine anything from this highly redacted 400 pages?
Well, there are 4 sets of documents. It looks like the dossier was the key element of the push to get access, to get the courts to approve this. And even worse, reports about the dossier were also used. And then the State Department information, which supposedly came from people associated with creating the dossier out of the Clinton camp, was used. It's like the FBI and DOJ under President Obama went to the courts and said, you know, I heard about it from me, myself, and I. You got 3 sources. No, it was the same source. And really, they gamed the courts to get this spy warrant on the Trump team. And what strikes me about what's been released, guys, is that the focus was on the Trump campaign, and it looked like Carter Page was the vehicle to get at it. That was the goal here. And just quickly, Peter Strzok has the #2 in the FBI Counterintelligence Division. This is his warrant as much as anyone else's over there. And knowing what we know about his bias, it's all the more reason to uncover the full truth and get out the full corruption here. Because as what we know already shows corruption, and which may be reason for the president to declassify more to figure out what else went on.
Tom Fitton, thank you. We appreciate it.